Minasan konnichiwa, Kon to moshimasu. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Kon, and welcome to episode 140 of Good or Garbage, the number one place where you can find out what stuff is being sold in a division on a weekly basis. And at the end of this episode, it's gonna be the end of the road. Episode 140. This is 140 weeks consecutively of covering the vendor resets for the division. And what better way can we finish out this week with garbage? I can't even lie to you. There's not really a lot. Actually, I will say this. There are some pretty good mods if you are looking for performance mods for your builds. But if you're not in the market for any performance mods, you're probably not going to find too much going on this week. But I hope that you stick around, because at the end I might have something a little special for you. Good or garbage. All right, now let's move on to the attachments for this week. This week at the special equipment vendor, we have a 5.52 Holosight being sold with 7% critical hit chance, 4% critical hit damage, and 6% headshot damage. Now, this could be improved in the critical hit chance section with making it about 7.5 or so. So if you could get something like that, it would be great. But this is still a very good all-around sight. It has crit chance, crit damage, and it also has headshot damage. So this is a damage dealing machine. If you are looking for this, head over to the base of operations, go to the special equipment vendor, and pick it up. But just remember, it will cost you 200 Phoenix credits. In DZ9, there's a heavy magazine spring for sale. This one with 3% critical hit chance, 4% critical hit damage, and 9.9% rate of fire. Now, while the rate of fire can be boosted a lot, not even going front, it can go up quite a bit. This is still something that you may want to look at to tide you over. I would say will be the best bet. I would say that don't go crazy buying a whole bunch of these, just because you can't get a much higher rate of fire than this. But if you are in dire need for something like this, maybe you did finish your Lone Star build like I did this week, being that Lone Star is one of the things that is being, I guess, not really sold, but kind of you have a chance to pick up something that you need from the GE this week. Then if you did finish it out and you want to kind of get your Lone Star together, then speccing into rate of fire, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage would really be the way to go. Don't worry about magazine size and all that other stuff. So if this is something that kind of floats your boat until you get something better, head over to the vendor at DZ9 and check it out. This week at West 39th Street, we have a high velocity magazine for sale with 7% critical hit chance, 4% critical hit damage, and 4.9% rate of fire. Now, while the rate of fire is not quite to the top tier, and nor is the critical hit chance, it is still decent, especially better than nothing. So we always have to kind of keep that in mind. I have no idea what a lot of you have. Some people have really good stuff, and RNG has been their best friend since the beginning of time. Other people like me have pretty bad luck with RNG. So if you are desperately looking for something with some rate of fire, good crit chance, and a little bit of crit damage, then this could work out for you. Head on over to West 39th Street and check it out. This week at West 42nd Street, there's a large suppressor being sold. 18% critical hit damage, 6% headshot damage, 5% range, and 47% reduced threat. I would have liked to see critical hit chance instead of range, but it is what it is. Also would like to see another extra percent off of that critical hit damage, but this is what we got. If you are using a larger weapon and you want to have some crit damage, this is one of the ones to go for. So if you need it, head on over to West 42nd Street and check it out. This week at East 34th Street, we have an extended magazine for sale with 120.5 magazine size, 4% critical hit damage, and 4.8% rate of fire. Now, while the rate of fire is definitely lacking, the magazine size and the crit damage are on point. If you can deal with just having the slower rate of fire, then and you want the magazine size basically, then this is kind of okay. The thing about it though is if you really are sacrificing critical hit chance for rate of fire, you really want to maximize as much rate of fire as you can possibly get. Without having it, it's a little bit iffy. The reason you would want to use this basically is to get that rate of fire increase so that you can burn down enemies even faster. Now, while I do like the 120.5 magazine size and I do like the 4% critical hit damage, I am still a little bit on the fence about this rate of fire. There is another magazine that is being sold this week with a smaller magazine size and a much higher rate of fire. Personally, I would probably go with that depending on how many bullets you are missing out on. If you're only missing out on a few bullets, it may not even make that much of a difference. But if you have to reload more often just to get I guess the amount of damage, but you are shooting a lot faster, it could work out for you. Just kind of depends on your build. If you're using it with something like Lone Star, then you're doing it all wrong. With Lone Star, you definitely do not want magazine size increases. You just want the crit damage, the crit chance, or even the rate of fire, and then leave it at that. You don't want reload and you don't want extended mag. This is something you would probably want to use with, I'd say, maybe an SMG, like a small clip SMG, so that you can have the most size and you have some crit damage to go with that crit chance that's baked into the SMG. And then preferably, again, you would want some more rate of fire. But this is what we have this week, and that's the best that we can do. So if this is something that you are willing to pick up, head over to East 34th Street and check it out. This week at Camp Clinton, we have an extended magazine for sale with 112.5% magazine size, 3% critical hit chance, and a decent 5.4% rate of fire increase. If you're looking for some rate of fire, some good amount of critical hit chance, and an okay bump to the magazine size, then head on over to Camp Clinton, go to the special equipment vendor, and check it out. Remember, it will cost you 192 Phoenix credits. This week at 5th Ave, we have an Omega rifle suppressor for sale with 18.5% headshot damage, 2.5% stability, 4% critical hit damage, and 46% reduced threat. Now, basically, if you're going to be running the Omega rifle suppressor, you will be using this for headshot damage, which means you'll probably be running this on a sniper rifle or an urban MDR or something like that that's going to maximize headshot damage and accuracy. So if you are going for something like this, I would really like crit chance, just because the weapons that usually are associated with that kind of play style don't have so much in the way of crit chance like the SMGs, but this is still decent just because your main bread and butter for damage is going to be headshot damage, and crit is not really a main focus. And depending on if your build doesn't really even have crit chance and you're not really speccing into crit damage, maybe you're going for enemy armor damage or damage to elites, then crit doesn't really even matter. If that's the case, then this is perfect for you because you're really going to be speccing into headshot damage, and then you're going to have that stability just to kind of even you out, so it'll be easier to land your shots. And then that little bit of reduced threat, while it can go over 50, can go to at least 50%. I don't want to quote and say over 50 because I don't remember seeing anything over 50, but I know definitely you will get it to 50%. So with reduced threat being a little bit on the low side, I would like to see it a bit up, but this is still a very good weapon if your build is not heavily reliant on crit and if you're banking more on headshot damage. So if you do need this, head over to 5th Avenue and check it out. Now let's go take a look at this week's gear mods. This week at Camp Clinton, we have a performance mod being sold with 4% Seeker Mine damage. If you have been looking to bump up your Seeker Mine, this is the perfect roll for it. You're not going to get anything more than 4%. So if you do need this, head over to Camp Clinton to the special equipment vendor and check it out. But do remember, it will cost you 192 Phoenix credits. At the firewall this week, we have a prototype performance mod with a 5.5% first aid self heal. I was really hoping we'd find a 6%er just to have some of these performance mods kind of all maxed out, but fortunately this is the one we've got. So if you do need this from the firewall, definitely go ahead and pick it up. I think actually this Lone Star build that I finally finished could use a couple of these, so I think I might pick up a couple myself. And if you do need them as a placeholder, there's nothing wrong with picking up a couple, and then when you get what you need, then delete them. So if you need it, go ahead, check it out. That's it. This week over at Southpaw, there is a performance mod being sold with 4% sticky bomb damage. If you have been working on trying to get that one-shot sticky for PvE, you will definitely need to have some of these in your build. So if you do not have them and you're curious about making it, then definitely go over to Southpaw and pick up these 4% sticky bomb damage mods. And they'll only cost you regular credits, so you can stock up no problem. This week at the gear vendor in DZ4, we have a prototype performance mod with 4% turret damage. Man, it seems like all of these damage dealing electronics performance mods are all maxed out. If you are looking for one for turrets, maybe to go with your Firecrest or any other electronics damage build that you're using that's having some turrets, then this could work out for you. If you need it, head over to the vendor in DZ4. At West 46th Street, we have a performance mod being sold with 7.5% support station range. If you've been looking for a range booster for your healer, no matter which class it may be, especially if you're using it for something like a reclaimer, this could really make a big difference if you have these stacked to just cover as much area as possible, especially for some of the incursions. This could be really good stuff to check out. So if you are in need of one of these, head on over to West 46th Street and check it out. At East 46th Street, we have another performance mod for sale. This one with 6% first aid ally heal. Definitely, if you want to help out your buddies or you want to keep them alive, it seems like 46th Street is the place to be with the support station range boost plus the 6% healing speed increase by 6%. That is some pretty nice stuff to have, especially if you're running a reclaimer. If you do not have these and you are trying to run healer, this is definitely something you will want to invest in. It will cost you DZ credits, so make sure you have those on deck. But definitely, if you need to pick these up, head over to East 46th Street for these, and yeah, let me know if you do pick these up. All right, guys, that is it for episode 140 of Good or Garbage. I hope that you guys found something useful for your builds. I'm pretty sure most of you did not. If you are still here, thank you from the bottom of my heart. My channel started with something similar to Good or Garbage. It really blew up from an old Division video about a SOCOM M1A. That video really catapulted my channel and it made me think about doing this kind of stuff. And yeah, I do want to say thank you to the Division. Thank you to Ubisoft for making sure that Massive made the game that most of us have all come to know and love. The Division 2 is going to be coming very, very soon. I'm looking forward to that. If you are subscribed to the channel for Division content, expect to see more of it. But in terms of live streams, if you guys do not know, I am going to try my best to take live streams off of YouTube, and I'm going to be moving either to Twitch or to Mixer. So hopefully you guys can support the channel that way and come through, stop by, show your boy some love, and hang out. As terms of the content that I'm going to be doing, kind of moving into 2019, still working on some of that stuff on what I want to do exactly. But this channel was actually built off of a lot of opinions and me talking to you guys about things that are going on in the gaming industry and in games like The Division when they had their state of the game and stuff like that. A lot of people came to the channel because they wanted to just chop it up and hear some real opinions from some real people that weren't on that BS. So that's kind of the direction I'm going. I'm going back to basics, and I'm going to be talking more about things that are going on in games, having discussions and opening it up, and maybe making some people mad, sprinkling a little bit of salt on some people. And you know, it's all good. I think the gaming community needs to be real about things and call some stuff out when it ain't really right. And hopefully we can just have a good conversation and chop it up, and it's all in good fun and it's all in the love of games, because we're all gamers at the end of the day. So whether you're into The Division or some of the upcoming games that I'm looking forward to, like Anthem or Devil May Cry, or I don't even know, there's like a whole bunch of games that I really do want to kind of get on, but I will be talking about some of those games. I definitely will be playing them on streams. Be sure to follow me in all the right social media places. And good or garbage, we will see if it makes a return with the Division 2. We'll see if you guys really want it. It was a pleasure serving all of you guys and helping you week after week to find out what was being sold in the division. And all I can say is thank you to everyone who came through every week and tried to support the channel. Thank you to everyone who is subscribed. Thank you to everybody who left comments. Thank you to everybody who's just still here. Until the next video or until the next live stream, whenever you see me, I will be around. Try to find me. Make sure you follow me in all those other outlets. And until then, I'm Khan. It was a pleasure. Thanks, agents. I'll see you. Peace.